Our reverse plank in and out are a challenging exercise for a lot of different muscle groups. So mainly we're going to be working our core, so those abs and those hip flexors, pulling those knees in. We're also going to be working the hamstrings and glutes, keeping that butt up elevated off of the floor. Lastly, we'll be working our shoulders and our triceps, keeping the upper body elevated as well. So, starting position for this, we're going to come down seated. We're going to place those hands directly under those shoulders. We're going to extend those legs on out. Then we're going to lift those hips on up off the ground, trying to push that butt up into the air as much as you can to where we're trying to create close to a straight line between the shoulders and the feet. It's okay if the butt dips a little bit, but really focus on pushing it up. The better you get at this movement, the stronger you get, the more you'll be able to keep that butt up into the air and keep your good posture throughout that movement. So we're going to press on up here. We're going to be balancing on those hands and the heels of those feet. We're then going to lift one leg at a time as we bring that knee in towards the chest, extend back out, and then switch sides. This is a slow and controlled movement to where we're focusing on keeping that butt up. It's going to want to drop every time you lift a foot up and bring it in. The butt's going to want to drop back to the floor. So really focus on pressing up. That's where your hamstrings and glutes are going to get involved in this movement. So like I said, a lot of different muscle groups working together here. The biggest mistakes I see made on this one is not slowing it down and focusing on keeping that good posture. So a lot of times you'll see people come back here, they'll just barely lift the butt up off the ground. You'll see how I'm still in kind of a seated position for this movement, and it'll be much easier. That's okay if that's your starting point and you cannot perform this movement correctly. However, I do want you, as you get stronger, to progress up to where you're focusing instead on keeping the hips up higher off the ground instead of right here just barely elevated. So that should be your key thing to work on every time, is trying to get those hips up as high as you can throughout that movement. Other common mistakes made I see on this one, again, it really just comes down to speed. People going way too quickly on this exercise and not instead focusing on your good posture throughout that movement. So biggest thing I can say is slow it down, focus on each individual aspect, keeping the torso up, keeping the hips up, and then controlling your balance as you bring one knee in and set them back out at a time.